The Smoki Museum is one of Prescott's popular tourist attractions. According to its website, the mission of the Smoki Museum is to instill an understanding and respect for indigenous cultures of the Southwest. Items housed in the museum include 4,000-year-old wooden artifacts, historical Yavapai baskets, Prescott and Yavapai culture pottery, and models of dwellings. Designed to resemble an Indian pueblo, the Smoki Museum was built in 1932 by the Smoki people. What you may not know is that the Smoki were not a real tribe. In fact, they weren't even Indians. The Smoki date back to 1921, when financially strapped Prescott faced the possibility of having to cancel its annual Frontier Days rodeo. A group of local businessmen staged a Way Out West show, which they hoped would raise enough money to save the rodeo. The show played to popular notions of cowboys and Indians, and one of the acts was the Smoki snake dance. Performed by the businessmen, the dance imitated the sacred Hopi snake dance. The first performance was a rousing success, and the Smoki people were born. The fake tribe's popularity grew. The Smoki formed a women's auxiliary, which took charge of costume design and fabrication. After 2 years as part of the Smoki, a woman could shed her maiden status and become a Smoki squaw. Children also became involved and received costumes and wigs made of black yarn. The social aspect of the organization appealed to many, and after a few years, most Prescott residents were affiliated in some way with the Smoki, including the mayor of Prescott. The group opened its permanent museum in 1935. Using the pueblo as a rehearsal space, the Smoki worked all year long on costumes and dances to perform at the rodeo. The Hopi snake dance was the only dance that was performed every year because it was so popular. The Smoki danced the snake dance at the rodeo every year from 1921 until 1990. Although audiences, predominantly white Anglo-Saxons, loved the annual snake dance, some Native Americans, particularly the Hopi, were not amused. It was an affront to Hopi people to have others try it or mimic something very sacred to all of us, said Donald Nelson, a Hopi that attended junior and high school in Prescott and now serves on the Native American Advisory Council at the Smoki Museum. I always thought we were honoring Native Americans, said Irene Winter, who served as the second to last chiefess before Smoki disbanded in 1991. In order to address growing controversy about the intentions of their dances, in 1989, the Smoki invited tribal and clan leaders from several tribes to watch the ceremony. The 100 Native Americans in the visiting delegation at first watched in stunned awe, but then began laughing at the antics of the white men and women chanting and dancing around the arena. The delegation left without any minds changed, set on organizing a formal protest at the 1990 snake dance. In the summer of 1990, the Smoki performed the Hopi snake dance. Outside, about 50 sign-carrying Hopis protested. A Prescott Daily Courier article from Wednesday, April 24, 1991 reads, "Sun sets on Smoki ceremonials. Traditional Prescott event brought Hopi protests and will be replaced." The annual Smoki ceremonials, usually held in August, will not feature its traditional Hopi snake dance this year, nor will the organization of local non-Indian business people dedicated to preserving Native American heritage play the part of traditional Indians for the events. Chief Ponytail, a Prescott businessman and the Smoki's current leader, said it's time to let the real Indians display their culture through crafts and dance. Chief Ponytail, who does not use his given name when speaking of the Smoki organization, in accordance with Smoki tradition, said the membership decided to make the change because they were deeply disturbed last year by protests from the Hopi against the snake dance, the Smoki's signature event. While the Smoki say they have tried in the past to carefully recreate the dance for the education and entertainment of visitors, the Hopi have claimed it shows disrespect for a traditional Hopi religious ceremony. Last year, members of the tribe picketed outside the fairgrounds where the snake dance was held. Chief Ponytail said their reaction showed the Smoki weren't fulfilling their objective of providing an acceptable teaching of Hopi tradition. "If they don't like what we're doing something wrong," he said. "This will be our year to regroup and make the events reflect what Smoki's image was traditionally supposed to be." What thoughts do we take away from the Smoki? Was it truly an honest effort to preserve what they believed to be a dying race? Or was it just an elaborate scheme using cultural appropriation to display an exotic imitation to bring revenue to the rodeo? These days, it really depends on who you ask.